The salvage beacon had been pinging for 3 days before Jonas Reed's freighter picked it up. Out in the void belt, that usually meant scavengers had already picked the wreckage clean. But something about the signal's frequency made Jonas alter course. His crew thought he was mad. They were probably right. The debris field stretched across half a kilometer, twisted metal from what had once been a Lupari warship. The Wolf Warriors were legendary. Their combat prowess whispered about in every spacer bar from Terra to the outer colonies. Humans had never seen one up close. The Lupari kept to themselves, considering other species too weak to warrant their attention. Jonas suited up and jetted across the void toward the largest intact section. His helmet lamp cut through the darkness, illuminating scorched bulkheads and frozen atmosphere crystals. That's when he saw her. She was sprawled against a shattered control panel, fur matted with dried blood that had crystallized in the vacuum. Her armor, legendary Lupari combat plate that could withstand plasma fire, was rent open across her torso. One clawed hand still gripped a blade longer than Jonas's arm. Even dying, she looked more dangerous than anything he'd ever encountered. Jonas, her life signs are almost gone. His ship's AI reported through the comm. Recommend immediate evac. Already on it, Jonas muttered, activating his suit's emergency medical field. The moment the containment bubble formed around her, her eyes snapped open, golden, predatory, and filled with rage. She tried to strike him. Even on death's door, she was terrifyingly fast. Her clawed hand stopped inches from his helmet as her strength finally failed. Easy, Jonas said, knowing she probably couldn't understand standard. I'm here to help. Those golden eyes studied him with an intelligence that made his breath catch. Then they closed. Getting her back to his ship took everything Jonas had. She was nearly 7 feet tall and built like a fusion reactor wrapped in muscle and fur. His crew stared in shock as he brought her through the airlock. "Captain, are you insane?" First Officer Chen demanded. "That's a Lupari warrior. They've killed entire battalions." "She's also dying," Jonas snapped. "Get her to medical. Now." The ship's medical bay wasn't designed for Lupari physiology, but Jonas had spent the last 3 days researching everything he could find in the databases. It wasn't much. The Wolf Warriors guarded their secrets jealously. But humans had one advantage: they were stubborn. For 6 days, Jonas barely left her side. He recalibrated the medical pods, synthesized blood plasma based on partial genetic data, and manually stitched wounds that refused to heal properly. His crew thought he'd lost his mind. Command was screaming through subspace for him to deliver her to the nearest military installation. Jonas ignored them all. On the 7th day, Kara opened her eyes. She watched him for a long moment, those predatory golden eyes tracking his every movement as he adjusted her IV drip. When she finally spoke, her voice was like gravel and silk combined. "Why?" The word came out in perfect standard, though heavily accented. Jonas looked up, startled. "Why what?" "Why save me?" Her lips pulled back, revealing sharp fangs. It might have been a smile or a threat. "Your kind fears mine. Your superiors command you abandon me, yet you risk everything." Jonas set down the medical scanner and met her gaze steadily. "Because it was the right thing to do. Where I come from, we don't leave people to die just because they're different." Kara's ears flicked forward, a sign of surprise he'd learned. "Your species is weak, soft. This is what the packs teach." "Maybe," Jonas shrugged. "But we're also too stupid to know when to quit." For the first time, Kara truly laughed, a sound like distant thunder. "I am Kara of the Blood Moon Pack, third daughter of the War Mother. I was ambushed by Kreth raiders. They destroyed my ship, killed my warriors." Her claws flexed. "I was left for dead?" "Not anymore," Jonas said quietly. "Recovery took 3 weeks. In that time, something unprecedented happened." Kara learned about humans, their stubbornness, their compassion, their strange insistence on helping those weaker than themselves. Jonas learned about the Lupari, their honor codes, their pack bonds, their lonely conviction that only strength mattered. When Kara was finally strong enough to walk, she insisted on meeting the entire crew. They gathered nervously in the mess hall as the massive wolf warrior entered, her armor repaired, her blade at her side. She knelt. The gesture sent shockwaves through every crew member. Lupari warriors knelt to no one but their pack leaders. Jonas Reed showed this warrior mercy when honor demanded none, Kara announced, her voice carrying absolute authority. "He gave life when death would have been easier. This is strength beyond combat, beyond tooth and claw." She placed her blade on the deck before Jonas. I declare life debt. From this day until my last breath, I stand with humanity. Jonas looked uncomfortable. Kara, you don't have to. It is done, she said firmly. You will understand in time. She was right. Word spread across the Lupari packs like wildfire. A warrior of the Blood Moon pack saved by a human, declaring life debt to an entire species. The Lupari High Council demanded explanations. The War Mothers called emergency conclaves, and then they did something that astonished the entire galaxy. They sent emissaries to Earth. For the first time in recorded history, the Lupari opened diplomatic channels with another species, not because of military might or territorial conquest, but because one human had shown compassion to a dying warrior. The pack studied humanity with new eyes, seeing strength not in weapons or armor, but in the stubborn refusal to abandon others. 3 months after Jonas found Kara in that debris field, the Treaty of Two Packs was signed. Humanity and Lupari, allies against the darkness between stars. Military observers were baffled. Xenobiologists scrambled to explain it. Politicians claimed credit they didn't deserve. But Jonas Reed knew the truth as he stood beside Kara at the signing ceremony on Earth, her massive form drawing stares from thousands of onlookers. It wasn't about treaties or politics or military alliances. It was about one simple act of kindness in the void, when it would have been so much easier to turn away. Kara caught his eye and her ears flicked forward in that expression he now recognized as a smile. Her clawed hand rested briefly on his shoulder, a gesture that would have meant death from any other Lupari warrior. But from her meant something far more precious. Family. Thank you. Little brother, she rumbled, too quiet for others to hear, for teaching this old warrior what true strength means. Jonas grinned up at her. Any time, Kara. That's what humans do. And across the galaxy, in pack dens and human colonies alike, a new understanding took root. Strength came in many forms, and sometimes the bravest thing a warrior could do was show mercy. That truth, more than any weapon or warship, would reshape the stars themselves.